Thank you, Senator Cardin, for your great leadership. Thank you, Senators Vitter and Bozeman, for agreeing to this, and welcome all. I want to just make a statement about TSCA, but most of my statement will not be about TSCA. And I want to put into the record this article entitled, "The Chemical Safety Improvement Act Will Not Solve the Problems Illustrated by the West Virginia Chemical Spill." I put that in the record, please.
Without objection.
And I wanted to note that TSCA is not designed to address inspection of chemical storage tanks. It deals with classifying 80,000 chemicals. It's going to be a very, and I really look forward to a strong TSCA bill. But the current bill, and this is what is so important, my scientific experts say that this particular chemical would be classified as low priority, and under the bill that we have before us, the Vitter bill, and the one we're working on, and Senator Vitter, we will be giving you our response next week to that bill. There would be no ability for the state to act. Once a chemical is stated low priority, they'd be precluded from acting, and there'd be no lawsuits allowed for the constituents of Senator Manchin and my colleagues here. Under the TSCA bill, no citizen could ever sue, and the state would be preempted. So we're going to work on a tough TSCA bill, and one that is worthy of the name. But here's where we are. We're going to focus on what happened in West Virginia and what we can do now, not some long classification time and preemption of state laws and preemption of lawsuits for those injured. We're not dealing with that today. We've set that aside today, and we are going to act on how to fix the problem. Now, I so appreciate all the electeds that are here today and those who have come today from the state, because you've suffered from this, and the impacts are ongoing. Residents are still concerned whether the water is safe to drink. Businesses continue to feel the pain of the spill. And you will tell me about the real impacts that your families have been going through, so I won't stress those here. But we know that the CDC has advised pregnant women to avoid drinking tap water until there are no longer detectable levels in the system. Some businesses closed, forcing employees to go without paycheck for days. Some restaurants are still buying bottled water, according to my information. Now, here's the situation. Here we had a tank filled with a chemical right near a drinking water supply. And because the risk assessment in the Safe Drinking Water Act was not used, no one knew what to do. So the Manchin bill, which I'm so proud to be a part of, along with Senator Rockefeller in the Senate, what we say is this: if there is any type of a storage facility that has a chemical in it, which is near a drinking water supply, that particular tank, that facility must be inspected. We must know everything there is to know about the chemical, regardless of any other laws which may be in place to help us. We need to focus on what the real problems are. Remember, there's 80,000 chemicals out there. Well, there's just a few of them in this tank, and we need to know what they are. And the sadness is, as Senator Cardin so rightly pointed out, there haven't been inspections since the early 2000s, and we really miss this. And I am so sorry about that and unhappy about that, and want to work with my colleagues to fix it. Now, this legislation, which we worked we worked hours on our staffs, puts in one place the tools necessary to protect our drinking water from chemical spills. It establishes state programs, which parties from both sides support, that will provide for regular inspections of these facilities, set design standards for the tanks, establish emergency response plans, and provide information and tools to drinking water utilities to respond to future disasters. So, Senator Cardin, you're right. The current Clean Water Act does contain authority to deal with this, but it's very loosey-goosey. It's not clear. Too much is left to the individuals. We need to make sure that in all of our states, if we've got a chemical that could leak into a drinking water supply, we know everything about that chemical. We know what to do if something happens. We have the standards in place to make sure it's stored safely. So I am very happy that you did this. We're going to have a further hearing with the Chemical Safety Board to look at, to continue to focus on this. This is not a one-day approach. This is the first day approach, and I thank all of you for being here.